Hey guys, good afternoon. Welcome back again to our session today. So, as you know, we are solving the lead code problems, and in fact, that was we were doing in a previous stream also. So, in this stream also, we'll be doing some of the other lead code problems on SQL. So that's the plan. I hope people have started joining in. Cool. So let's begin. Right. So again, guys, just a quick note of thing to you. So I'm always monitoring my chat. So if anybody has any queries, any concerns, if you're not able to understand the questions or the concepts, or if I'm being too fast or too slow, also do let me know that. So always feedbacks are important. So you can always let me know that. Or in case any questions and any concerns regarding your job, so do put up a question in the chat. We can take that. Great. As always, before starting, let's have a quick round of introduction again. So, my name is Arpit Jain and I'm a senior data scientist myself. I have almost 9 years of industry experience. Along with that, I'm also a motivational speaker. So, I take the career mentorships and sessions to guide on the career and the jobs as well. So, do let me know if anybody has any concerns regarding career jobs. So, we can always talk. Also, from the subjects point of view, we'll be talking about Python, SQL, as well as data science. So Python, we've already started around 3 months back. Now we are at the state of solving other HackerRank and lead code problems. We're also doing some problem solving on Python. Along with that, in SQL, we are also solving the problems. In data science, we have finished the visualization part. So now we are into natural language processing. So we are doing that. So that's the plan to continue post tomorrow. But again, before starting, guys, there's a mandatory promotion, you know that. So I have to go through that. Please bear with me for that. So you have the code Python 10 in front of you guys. So you can always use the code Python 10, which is gonna get you a free Relevel sample test paper. So what is that, right? So what is Relevel and all that? So many times the candidates do miss out on the great opportunities due to multiple reasons. It could be like they don't have a better degree or they might be having a poor networking, right? And also the resumes through which the candidates are applying are not really standing out. So there are at least 100 other applicants for the same job, right? So there might be some issue in your resume, but might be missing out some of the keywords or something which is totally beyond your control. That could also happen, right? Along with that, also you're applying to n number of jobs, like 20, 30 odd jobs, or maybe even more than that. You're still not getting even a single call for your interview, right? Very, very practical problem. And I would say many of us faces this issue, and it's a very practical problem. But again, never to get confused with this. So it's like I would say almost everybody faces this problem, right? And to cater these issues only, Relevel has been introduced by Unacademy, which is India's first test hiring platform. Okay, and here this is helping you to get your dream job, right? And here you're purely dependent on your skills and talent. Okay, so you're not at all dependent on any sort of degree or any sort of people networking, right? So if you're skilled enough, if you're knowledgeable enough, you should be getting your dream job, right? So it's more of a testing platform, as I've mentioned. So you will be asked to go through an assessment, and based on that assessment score, which is internally based on your own knowledge, right? So that assessment score is guaranteeing you your dream job. So the companies will start reaching out to you once you have got your score. So that's basically how it is. Cool. Great. So along with that, there are certain other benefits also if you participate in the Relevel testing platform, like at least 50 plus companies, including the top startups and even the unicorns, they hire directly from the Unacademy the Relevel platform, and those include ENY, Upgrad, Cred, Razorpay, Urban Company, and many more, right? And at least 1,000 plus open job positions right now, guys, from 3 different portfolios: business development, front end, and the back end development. Multiple sub roles available within these portfolios, right? And also, this is completely online, so you're not supposed to be physically present anywhere to attempt this test, to be part of this test. And the best part is this is completely free, so you're not paying even a single penny to attempt this test, right? So the only expectation from you here is you have to finish the entire test in a single day, and that day could be of your choice, right? So there'll be multiple rounds of assessment, so you have to finish the entire test in a single day, okay? And also the Relevel score once you have given the test should be revealed in a week's time. So that's how it is, right? So since it's an assessment, so definitely there is a qualifying score as well. So you have to score at least 70% of marks. So that is 700 out of 1000 to make your Relevel profile, right? And by any circumstance, if you are not able to meet up that score, so you can always reattempt the test, but that can happen only after 30 days. Okay, there's a kind time gap between that. And fortunately enough, if you are one of the top scorers in a particular category in a month, you will also be rewarded with some exciting goodies that includes your MacBook, iPhone, and many more, right? So definitely a plus there, right? So I mean, guys, so basically with Relevel, you are in a unique position to invite interest from the companies instead of you hunting for your own opportunities, right? So once you have given the test, just sit back and relax. The companies will reach out to you post your scores are revealed, right? So it's that simple. Cool. Registration is also quite easy, guys. So you can always go through the link available in the YouTube description. The very first thing would be asked from you is choosing the test of your choice, right? So as I said, three different portfolios: business development, front end, and the back end development. So in the business development, you could see sales associate, relationship manager, and also in the front end development, you have roles like front end engineer, Angular developer, web developer, backend engineer, data engineer, and all that. So multiple roles depending on your interest area. So you can choose a portfolio which you want to be part of. The next is choosing or booking the slots for your test. So it's a beta platform. Slots are limited, guys. I would suggest you to book it fast. So you can always book your slot for your test. Post that, the last thing would be to fill up your demographics, like the very basic details of your admit cards, like your email ID, full name, birth year, current state, along with that your gender, and then you have an option of a promo code at the last. Okay, so that is the place where you can always use the code Python 10. So if you're going to use the code Python 10, you're going to unlock your bonus sample test paper. Okay, so if you have used the code Python 10 at the right place, guys, this is how you should be looking at to your desktop. So for your dashboard, basically. So we have an option of a practice tab. So in this practice tab, you should be seeing the sample paper, right? So this sample paper is the replica set of questions which we have, right? So it's like the replica of questions which you should be expecting from your real interviews, or maybe your real test on the Relevel platform, right? So very handy questions. So always be fully prepared, for your D-Day. So that's what it is. So guys, as I've already mentioned, it's again anyway free of cost for you right now. So I would recommend to at least try it for once, right? So there's no harm in trying it for once, right? So do try it for once. If you feel that you're not getting benefited, you can always take your decisions elsewise later. So that's not at all a foundation anyway, right? So do register for the platform today. The link is again there in the YouTube description. Also, we have an official Telegram channel. I have been telling that. So this channel is basically a one-place stop for you for all of your upcoming classes, schedules, lookouts, and all that, right? So one-place stop for you for all of your updates. Guys, do like, share, and subscribe the video if you feel that you're getting benefited. The least which we can expect from you is, at least like the videos, right? So with this, guys, we are into the problem solving. We have been doing the problem solving for quite some good amount of time. But again, if anybody has any complaints, any issues, any questions, please reach out to me if anything is there. So if I can be of any help, any updates and all that. So more than happy to help you in the queries. So let's jump back to our problem solving. Let me open up that screen. I hope my screen is visible, right? So yeah, this is pretty much visible. So this is what we did, the last question, right? So I think the question is 183 customers who never order. So there are two tables, customers and orders. We join that, and then simple condition of null. Very simple question. So, and that's how we solved it. Then coming back to the next question, guys. So look at this in the database. What do we have? So we have solved duplicate customer who never wrote. So this is the one. So we have a question called as department highest salary. Let's look at this. Okay, let's solve a new problem. So department highest salary. Again, guys, as always, sticking to basics, it says inputs, and then I have something called as outputs, and then I have something called as constraints. Okay, so always I'm again and again mentioning the same thing, guys. So do not take this as a repetition. But again, this is, I always recommend, if you have if you are participating in any coding platform or any live coding channels, right? So this will always help you to curtail or save your time, right? So in troubleshooting, this always helps. Always have a practice of, at least at the time of while you're practicing, right? So maybe not at the real examination, but again, at least the time when you're practicing. So you can always have a habit of writing your exact statements which you're expected to be doing. Cool. Fair enough. Let's start. So I have certain interesting things mentioned here. So I have a table. So I have the table mentioned, which is my employee. So I'm going to mention that. So I have a table called as employee, and I have some good amount of features here. So I have ID, name, the salary, and also the department ID. So for each of my name of the employee, looks like I have a department ID also mentioned. So look at this. So ID is the primary key column for this table. That's fair enough. Very much understood. Department ID is a foreign key of the ID from the department table. Okay, look at this. So I have again a department table. Okay, so look at this. So I have another table which is, say, department, and they have mentioned that. Okay, so now look at this. So ID is primary key. This is fine. And then I have what? So department ID is the foreign key of the department table. So basically, okay, so department table ID. This is what it says. Right? So this is department ID. You have to map. So basically, this department ID of my table employee, this one, is equivalent to the department table ka ID. Okay, so this is what it says, the foreign key and all that. So just decoded it into a simple sentence. Okay, I hope you are aware of foreign key and all that. So if anybody has any concerns, do let me know that. So each row of this table indicates the ID, the name, and the salary of an employee. Fair enough. It also contains the ID of their department. So basically, हर एक रो में क्या है आपका? ID है, name है, salary है, and then the department ID. ठीक है? So this is what my table employee means. Fair enough. Now coming to a table department. So in the table department, I have ID as my primary key. So this is my primary key. This is nothing but primary key. This is nothing but department ID from employee table. Okay, so department ID from ES capital employee table. Fair enough. This is fine. This is what it says. And each row of this table indicates the ID of a department at its name. So basically, here each row means ID and name. It's ID is nothing but department ID. Fair enough. It's cool, clear. Now the question says, write a SQL query to find employees who have the highest salary in each of their departments. Interesting. Okay. So now I want find employees. Okay. So basically employees with highest salary in each department. This is interesting. Okay. So result, return the table in any order. So order का कोई constraint नहीं है. So no order constraint. Fair enough. The query result format is in the following example. Let's look at this. So I have the employee table. So I have ID, name, salary, and department ID. So I have ID, and the person name is Joe. The salary is 70,000. He works in the department 1. And then I have J2 is Jim. So Jim is another employee. His salary is 90,000. He works in department 1 again. I have then department 2 and the department 1. So now for the department 1s, I have who all? So I have these 3 people. So Jim, Joe, and Max, right? So they are from department 1. And out of Jim, Joe, and Max, who is having the highest salary? I think Jim. Okay, in fact, Max is also having the highest same salary. Okay, this is interesting. So basically both Jim 90,000 and Max is also having 90,000. Let's look at the output which they want. And for this department ID 2, Henry is earning more, right? So Henry is the highest salary taker from department ID 2. Now let's look at the, okay, so again I have another table. No, okay, department table तुमने कर दिया ना. So department table में I have the ID and the name. So basically ID is IT and sales. So this is fine. And then the output is like department. So I have in the output I want what? I want department. So department is basically renamed from name, right? So this is what from this name is renamed to department. Basically, this is what the first column says. The second column says employee. So this is employee. So basically, again the name. So this employee is renamed from name of employee table. Okay, this is what they want. The last they want the salary. The salary is coming from the employee table. Cool. This is the output. Now I can look at this. So wherever the salary is common, so the Jim to 90,000, the Max 90,000, so they are returning both basically, right? So they are returning both. So that's fair enough. That's not an issue. So now the explanation of this says Max and Jim both have the highest salary in the IT department, and Henry has the highest salary in the sales. So that's fair enough. So in the case of ties, they're gonna return both the values. So if multiple outputs, multiple values from the same highest value, so they're gonna return all. Cool. Simple question hai ye bhi, but again hum stick to the basics. Let's what? So what all we have? We have select, we have from, we have where, we have what? We have group by, we have having, and then we have what? So we have order by, for example, order by, and then we have limit. This is the code structure of any SQL query code. Okay, this is what the code structure of code looks like, right? So again, I do not have order by and limit, so there is no constant of order by and limit. Let's stick to that. Now here the question says I need the output in each department, right? So jahan pe bhi each word aa jata hai. So I want department wise or each or department. So somehow I have a hint of a group by here, right? So group by is there for sure because I need the information based on each department. Cool. So this group by, somehow I'm having a sense of department. Okay, so just I'm writing a column department here. So this has to be somehow column department. How I'm gonna call that? Let's figure out that later. But somehow I have a feeling of department ka column mujhe chahiye, right? And the highest salary, right? So and the highest salary. So we'll look at this. So basically having का कंडीशन नहीं लग रहा. अब ग्रुप बाय में अगर मैं यहाँ पे इसको यहाँ पे ऑर्डर कर दूँ, ऑर्डर बाय सैलरी, ओके, एंड यहाँ पे अगर मैं लिमिट 1 कर दूँ, सो बेसिकली दिस इज अ लॉजिक ऑफ हाई. सो ऑर्डर बाय सैलरी एंड डिसेंडिंग. सो द सैलरी को अगेन आई एम गोना राइट द कॉलम सैलरी. सो somehow I'll see how I have to figure out this. So कॉलम सैलरी को मैं ऑर्डर बाय कर देता हूँ आफ्टर ग्रुप बाय डिसेंडिंग ऑर्डर में, एंड द डिसेंडिंग में आई कैन हैव इट द लिमिट 1. सो बेसिकली द इक्वल मेरे को मिल जाएगा. हैविंग का मेरे को भी अभी कुछ लॉजिक समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. सो आई हैव जस्ट केप्ट इट आइडल फॉर नाउ एंड सेलेक्ट एंड फ्रॉम एंड ऑल दैट, राइट? सो ओके सो आई एम स्टिल कीपिंग वेयर एज इट इज, सो लेट्स सी कैसे इसको ब्रेक कर सकते हैं। ठीक है, ये कोर स्केलेटन में किसी को कोई इशू है? एनीबडी हैज एनी इशू इन दिस? ठीक है, अब फ्रॉम में क्या है मेरे पास? फ्रॉम में डेफिनेटली मेरे पास दो टेबल हैं। सो मेरे पास एक तो टेबल क्या है, मेरे पास टेबल एक एम्प्लॉय है, सो फ्रॉम एम्प्लॉय तो होगा ही होगा, एंड देन आई हैव अ टेबल कॉल एज डिपार्टमेंट, सो आई एम गोना pull this off to department. So these two has to be there, right? So my employee and the department table. So again, when I have two tables, I have to join it. So I'm gonna join basically this employee on department. So again, here the thing is employee का है मेरे पास, employee है मेरे पास से, and then I have the department. So I have for each of the departments I have the employees. So same thing है, कोई इसमें फंडा नहीं, सिंपल ज्वाइन भी कर सकते हैं, कोई इशू नहीं है इसमें. Let's keep it simple. So here and then again I'm gonna have a condition of join here on. So on में again employee can just mention E, employee as E and department as D for example. So E dot employee के अंदर का क्या है, employee के अंदर में आपका है department ID. This is the one. So department ID. So on E dot department ID should be equal to D dot ID, right? So this is how I'm gonna get the entire table, you know? So this is how I'm gonna get the entire table. Okay, so now on this table I have the employee IDs, employee and the departments mentioned here, right? So again, for each of my employee, I have the department mentioned in the table, right? Cool. So अब again हमने क्या करना है, अब इसमें से हमने max निकालना है. Okay, so the question क्या है? I want the employees. ओके, एम्प्लॉयज विथ हाईएस्ट सैलरी इन ईच डिपार्टमेंट. सो अभी अगेन कोर स्ट्रक्चर देखते हैं. अगर मेरे को अगर सिंपल ये चाहिए, अगर मैं ये कर दूं, ओके सो आई हैव टू राइट इन द नेक्स्टेड क्वेरी बिकॉज ये सेम टेबल में तो मेरे पास अवेलेबल नहीं है, राइट? सो दिस एम्प्लॉय इज इन अनदर टेबल एंड डिपार्टमेंट इंफॉर्मेशन इज इन अनदर टेबल. सो आई हैव टू समहाउ write another logic to join this. And I mean because select में मेरे पास क्या क्या है, अभी select भी लिख लेता हूँ मैं. select में मेरे पास ये तीन चीज़ें हैं, right? So I have select these three things. So basically from department I want the department table, I want d dot name as department. This is what it says, right? So d dot name as department, fair enough. And then I want and then I have E dot name as employee is what I want, right? As employee is also good. And then I want salary. So salary is again coming from, salary is again anyway available explicitly. So name is fine. So salary is fine. So salary is explicit anyway. So this is fine. So this is good. So again salary है ना, एक बार चेक कर लेता हूँ. salary, okay, salary I'll just mention say E dot salary from employee department D. Okay, so now I'm gonna do a group by of column, group by D dot department. Okay, and then I'm gonna have okay, so I need it through each of the departments. So definitely for each of the columns I want, right? So okay, this is bit interesting. Let's just try it this way. So we can do it like this. So maybe I can write having how should I do it? So I could see a difficult option, but I don't want to try that. Okay, let's try this. I think this might give you an error. So let's try this. So order by, maybe let's try this. It's a very simple way out, but that should give you an error actually. So E dot salary and then descending, and then let's try this, but this should technically give you an error. And then because see, again, I want this in one part of my one table, and from that table I want to pull out the informations. Okay, so this should give me another. Let me try this once. Or just I can do a max. Can I just do a max of my salaries, or just let's do one thing. So let's not do order by, or group by department को मैंने group by तो कर दिया है, and then the group by में department it won't take it like this. Okay, so let me do one thing. So let me write another view table. So what I'm doing is I'm just creating a view table. Okay, so basically I'm creating a view table where I'm gonna write the department and the max salary. Cool. So I'm just gonna do the department and the max salary. So I have, because in this department IDs I have the max salaries and departments can be mapped from this, right? So now I just, let's try to do this. I'll explain it to you. Again, guys. So what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to, instead of, because here the problem would be I cannot just do a limit one here, because the thing is it's gonna do it for all the departments, right? So that's gonna create an issue. So it won't give you the results actually. So let's do it in a different way. So I'm going to create a nested query here. So I'm going to create a separate table, and I'm going to filter out on that. So on this table, I'm going to create a department ID and the salary, okay, of each of these tables. And then for each table, each department ID, what is the max salary? Just finding out the number first, okay. So what I can do in this case, so select department ID, okay, and I'm going to do max of salary. Okay, for now, max of salary from my table name is employee. Okay, so this from employee, and here I'm going to do group by of department ID. So what will give me? So this table will be giving me for each of my tables what is the max salary, right? So now look at this. Select is fine, from is join, this is from statement is fine. Now I'm going to remove this part. Okay, so now let's do this. So now what I've done here is I've created a view table which is actually giving me the details. So what this table is giving me, this is giving me the department ID, okay, this is giving me department ID, and it is giving me the salary, the max salary. So it is not giving me the name, guys. So do not get confused. It's just giving me the ID 1 and say max salary 90,000. This is what or ID 2 will give me 80,000. So that is what this table will return me, right? This is what I have it here. So now what I can just do is I can write a condition of where I need to find out, if I just say that this particular department ID, whatever I'm doing it from, it should be part of my this list. So I'm gonna just omit whatever IDs and the salary ka combination. For example, I could see this. For I have the ID as 1, right, and the salary is 70,000. But also, here ID is 1 and the salary is 70,000, and the ID is 1 and the salary is 90,000. So here in this table, I have an off salary ID is 1 and the salary is 90,000. So the other one, the left out is 70,000, right? So what I can do, I can just do a filter or just do a pattern matching. I just do a matching of the combination wherever I have the ID 1 and 90,000. Let's pick that and remove everything else. We can do that, right? And so what I can do is where the combination of my ID and salary, basically, this should be part of this table. You got it? I can do this, right? So this can be part of this table. Can I do this? I can do this, right? So this has to be part of my this table. This is a core structure. This is what I'm trying to implement in this, right? So now let's remove this, because we know this table gonna return me the department ID and the maximum salary. So I'm gonna just filter out only those IDs and the salary from the entire data set after joining. Wherever the ID and the salary is matching up, right? So here, how can I do that? So I can just write, so instead of part of, we have an operator called as in, you know that, right? So this should be in this. So we have an operand called as in by default in SQL. So we can always do this. So instead of ID, we have to write mention e dot department ID, where there's a combination. So e dot department ID. Along with that, I am also looking for salary. So salary is fine. Salary, we can just keep it like this. In pool in this. Anybody has any issue in this? And then at the end, I have this semicolon. This flow sounds good to everybody? So I have the code here. Okay, I'm just gonna split it up again. So look at this. So I have the flow and I have the where statements, and this is what it is. Cool. So what I've done is I have just created another nested query. So another nested query where I have the department IDs and the max salary given. है ना? So अभी हमने simple group by से department ID and the max salary निकाल लिया, right? अब इस department ID से हम filter कर लेते हैं from the entire join table, जहाँ पे department name भी मेरे पास mention है, because name हमारे पास by default employee में available नहीं है, right? So I can just filter out those employee IDs, department IDs and the salary जो match कर रहा है आपके इस table में से, right? So another way of looking at this problem, right? So see, again, SQL is all about how you think about the problem, right? It's not about how you beautifully code right now. It's more about how you can think about the problem. So it's more of that logical understanding. Cool. अभी इसको रन करके देखते हैं कोड को. Let's run this code. Yes, pretty much working fine. Accepted. I hope this is pretty much clear to everyone, right? Logic समझ में आया code का, guys? Yes or no? I hope people should be able to follow this. Slightly tricky question, but again, logical flow अगर समझ जाएंगे तो again it's not about I mean having any tough question on a right or a wrong question. Again, I could say that none of the approaches are wrong. Please don't look at the problem like how I am solving. It's not like the way I am solving that is the only way it can be solved. No, it's not like that, right? It's just like how you can think about a problem. That's what I thought that problem as, right? So you have to understand that the only way to solve this problem is like how you can think about the problem, right? So always try to think your problem logically and then try to write your code, है ना? Because code में वैसे ही हम समझते हैं. Yeah, तुषार, slightly tough, but I hope logic समझ में आया आपको, right? Logic समझना बहुत जरूरी है ना? चलो, let's move to the next question. कहाँ गया? Thank you so much, Samarth, for confirming. Great. So अभी हमने क्या करा? Customers ने वो ये कर लिया, department है salary कर लिया, ये कर लेते हैं. चलो, department top 3 salaries. ये interesting है. अभी हमने department की highest salary निकाली. अब now हमने department की top 3 salaries निकालनी होगी. I think similar question है ये. Looks like the similar question. Okay, this is even more interesting, guys. चलो, let's solve this. Okay, in fact, it is also mentioned it is hard problem. Yeah, so yeah, definitely. अभी तक हम easy करते चले आ रहे थे, medium करते चले आ रहे थे. This is one of the hard questions, right? So it's fine. I mean, definitely, अगर आप एक कर रहे हो क्वेश्चन को, अगर easy कर रहे हो तो hard भी करोगे, right? So why not? So let's try that. It's okay. Again, see again, guys. It's all how you can think about the problem, right? It's again, I'm not specifying that this particular way is the only way of writing the code. It's just like if you are able to decode it in your own easier way of understanding the problem, है ना? Simple, सब कुछ उसी पे boil down हो जाता है. आपकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग क्वेश्चन की कैसी है, बस हमने वो देखना है. ठीक है, चलो अब हम सिंपल अगेन स्टिकिंग टू द बेसिक्स. आई हैव इनपुट्स, आई हैव व्हाट्स आई हैव आउट, यार क्या चला गया, आई हैव आउटपुट्स, देन आई हैव constraints. So constraints, देन लास्ट में फ्लो बनाएंगे कोड का. ठीक है, द फ्लो. अभी इनपुट क्या है? सो आई हैव टेबल एम्प्लॉय, सेम है टेबल एम्प्लॉय. आप लिख लेते हैं इनपुट्स में टेबल. आई हैव द टेबल एम्प्लॉय. आई हैव द कॉलम आईडी, नेम, सैलरी, डिपार्टमेंट आईडी. फेयर इनफ. आईडी इज द प्राइमरी की, डिपार्टमेंट आईडी इज द फॉरेन की. तो लिख लेते हैं. सो आई हैव आईडी एज प्राइमरी की. आई हैव से व्हाट, डिपार्टमेंट आईडी ना, ये है डिपार्टमेंट आईडी इज द फॉरेन की, जो कि आईडी से मैच करता है डिपार्टमेंट टेबल में. ओके, सो आई हैव अनदर टेबल विच इज डिपार्टमेंट एंड दिस डिपार्टमेंट इज इक्वल टू आईडी फ्रॉम डिपार्टमेंट. ठीक है, and this is fine. And now I have each row of this table indicates the ID, name, salary of an employee. Fair enough. So this हमने पता है already. It also contains the ID of the department. Fair enough. ये तो हमने देख रखा है. No problem at all. So now I have department ID and name. So it's like ID and name. Okay, and so name is basically my department name. Okay, fair enough. So ID is the primary key, no problem. Each row of this table indicates the ID of the department and its name. So basically IT sales जो हमने देखा था वही है. ठीक है. Now the question is, a company's executives are interested in seeing who earns the most money in each of the company's departments. Fair enough. A high earner in a department is an employee who has a salary in the top 3 unique salaries for that department. Okay, थोड़ा सा confusing हो गया ये. क्या है? Let's read it through again. A high earner in a department is an employee who has a salary in the top 3 unique salaries for that department. थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूजिंग है, इसका एक्सप्लेनेशन समझते हैं आउटपुट्स में. ठीक है, सो हाई अर्नर बेसिकली वो है जिसका सैलरी इन टॉप 3 यूनिक सैलरीज है इन डिपार्टमेंट. ठीक है, ओके, ठीक है. ये डेफिनेशन है, समझ नहीं आया, थोड़ा इसको एक्सप्लेनेशन में देखते हैं क्या है. Write a SQL query to find the employees who are high earners in each of the departments. Okay, so basically find the employees in each of the departments. So basically क्या करना है, employees who are high earner in each department. ठीक है, this is what I want. So return the result table in any order. So no order constraint again. So no order constraint. The query result format is in the following. हाँ ये देखते हैं, ये important है. So now, okay, so I have the ID, name, salary and the department IDs. So I have one, Joe is the name of the employee, salary is 85,000 and the department ID is 1. So I have one make on connect. So I have Max, I have Janet, and I have Randy, I have Will. So 85,000, 90,000, 69,000, 85,000 and 70,000. So इसमें question क्या था? This is a high earner in a department is an employee who has a salary in the top 3 unique salaries. So टॉप 3 यूनिक सैलरीज क्या है यार मेरे पास? टॉप 3 यूनिक सैलरीज क्या है? 80 यूनिक सैलरीज पहले क्या है? 85,000 है, आई हैव 90,000, 69, 85 रिपीट हो गया. सो बेसिकली अगर टॉप 3 देखूं तो 85,000 एक यूनिक है, सबसे मैक्स तो 90 है, फिर उसके बाद 85 है एंड देन 70 है, राइट? सो बेसिकली 85, 90 एंड 70, दीज आर माई टॉप 3 यूनिक सैलरीज, करेक्ट? अब इसमें से क्या है, वो बोल रहा है हाई अर्नर. सो बेसिकली आई वांट ऑल द नेम्स. क्या? सो जो भी चाहिए, जो भी होगा, मैक्स भी होगा, एंड देन and then I have Randy here and then the Will. So Janet will not come in department 1. Apart from Janet, all 4 should come, right? So this is what it says. I mean, this, let's look at this. I believe this is what it says. Right, correct. So I think our understanding is good. So this says that, so top 3 earner, I mean, जिसकी भी salary top 3 unique salaries में से है. So here you can see this. So Randy and Joe also, although has the same salary, 85,000, but this salary figure is in the top 3 unique distinct figures, right? So they both are included. So from IT, which is department 1, Max, Joe, Randy and Will. So all 4 are selected. Only Janet is not selected because 69,000 was the 4th highest salary, right? So 4th highest unique salary. Unique बड़ा important keyword है यार. सो कॉन्स्टेंट में, आउटपुट में यूनिक मैंने लिख रखा है, ठीक है? यूनिक इंपॉर्टेंट है, यूनिक ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा एक, है ना? और टॉप 3 यूनिक चाहिए. सो यूनिक में से बेसिकली समाउ डिस्टिंक्ट मुझे करना पड़ेगा, है ना? सो विल सी दैट. चलो, सो एक्सप्लेनेशन क्या है यार? लेट्स लुक एट दिस एक्सप्लेनेशन अगेन. सो इन द आईटी डिपार्टमेंट, मैक्स अर्न्स द हाईएस्ट यूनिक सैलरी. क्या है? मैक्स के, यस करेक्ट, मैक्स अर्न्स द हाईएस्ट यूनिक सैलरी. Both Randy and Joe earns the second highest unique salary, 85,000. That's correct. And Will earns the third highest unique salary, which is 70,000. Correct? Yeah, 70,000. So Janet was not included. That's fine. Great. Likewise, sales में भी वही है. And there is, okay, so there is no third highest anyway. So उसका consideration ही नहीं है because top 3 consider करना है मुझे. So थर्ड जो भी 2 हैं, अगर 3 से कम है तो तीनों कंसिडर हो जाएंगे उसमें, है ना? तो ये आपका लॉजिक है. कूल. क्वेश्चन समझ में आया सबको? थोड़ा सा ट्रिकी है ये क्वेश्चन, बट आई थिंक इवन आई टुक सम टाइम टू अंडरस्टैंड इट. बट द क्वेश्चन का, अभी क्वेश्चन समझ में आ गया, है ना? अगेन सिंपल भाषा में यही है क्वेश्चन आपको, जो मैंने यहाँ पे नोट्स लिख रखे हैं, है ना? क्वेश्चन यही है. अब इसको कैसे हम फ्लो में कन्वर्ट करेंगे? चलो अगेन गाइस, सिंपल फ्लो. अभी मैं आप लोग की हेल्प लूंगा, आप मुझे बताओगे फ्लो क्या है. सेलेक्ट, फ्रॉम, वेयर, और क्या होता है? ग्रुप बाय. एंड देन क्या होता है? ग्रुप बाय के बाद होता है आपका हैविंग. हैविंग के बाद क्या होता है? ऑर्डर बाय. उसके बाद क्या होता है? लिमिट. ठीक है, ये हमारा कोड स्ट्रक्चर है किसी भी कोड का. इसी स्ट्रक्चर में हम कोड लिखते हैं, है ना? तो अभी जो मुझे अभी तक जो इसमें समझ में आया, मेरे पास 2 टेबल है. एम्प्लॉय, फ्रॉम में तो ये तो क्लियर है ना? फ्रॉम एम्प्लॉय एंड देन आई हैव अनदर टेबल डिपार्टमेंट, है ना? तो ये तो हमें समझ में आ रहा है. ये 2 टेबल है, फ्रॉम एम्प्लॉय डिपार्टमेंट. तो ये 2 है, इसको तो ज्वाइन तो करना ही होगा. तो ज्वाइन एम्प्लॉय डिपार्टमेंट, एम्प्लॉय ज्वाइन डिपार्टमेंट ऑन लिख देते हैं. सो एम्प्लॉय को अगेन ई कर देते हैं, डिपार्टमेंट को अगेन अगर डी कर देते हैं. सो ऑन ई डॉट, क्या है यार भूल गया मैं, एम्प्लॉय में कौन सा कॉलम है? एम्प्लॉय में आई हैव डिपार्टमेंट आईडी, है ना? सो ये लिख लेते हैं, यहाँ से कॉपी कर लेते हैं. ई डॉट डिपार्टमेंट आईडी शुड बी इक्वल टू डी डॉट, थिंक आईडी है ना? हाँ राइट, आईडी है, डी डॉट आईडी, है ना? तो ये सिंपल हो गया. यहाँ तक तो ये तो भाई सिंपल पार्ट है, ये तो हमने कर दिया. अभी अब जो हमारा लॉजिक जो है ना, वो यहाँ पे ऑर्डर बाय लिमिट सब है. अभी ऑर्डर बाय लिमिट की तो कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है. तो एक्चुअली देखो क्या है गाइस, ये सेम इसको ये पहले वाला ही क्वेश्चन है. Am I audible? Guys, apologies, I was having some network issues. I hope I should be audible now. I got a power cut between. Please let me know in the chat if I'm audible, guys. Again. Okay, cool. So, great. So, quickly jump to the question again. Apologies for a slide cutout. ठीक है. अभी select को बाद में करते हैं. Select तो simple है. अब क्या हम इसको same logic से नहीं कर सकते हैं? अभी अब देखो, जैसे कि हमने यहाँ पे क्या करना है, अभी हमने वापस से आउटपुट में हमें क्या चाहिए, वो सेम आउटपुट चाहिए हमें. यहाँ पे डिपार्टमेंट एम्प्लॉय सैलरी है ना. सो डिपार्टमेंट एम्प्लॉय जो अगेन वो रीनेम वाला जो करना होगा वो हम करते हैं. यहाँ पे लिख देता हूँ मैं, डिपार्टमेंट एम्प्लॉय सैलरी मेरे को चाहिए, ये 3 चीज. अभी देखो लास्ट जो हमने सेम लॉजिक में करा था, वेयर आई जस्ट क्रिएटेड अनदर टेबल एंड आई फिल्टर्ड आउट द नीडेड सैलरी एंड द एम्प्लॉय का कॉम्बिनेशन फ्रॉम दैट व्यू टेबल, राइट. सेम लॉजिक से भी इसमें भी कर सकते हैं, बट इसमें व्यू, उसमें पहले क्या कर रहा था हमने. अभी मैं यहाँ से ग्रुप बाय हैविंग हटाता हूँ, ठीक है. अभी इसको मैं कैसे सोच पा रहा हूँ बताता हूँ. देखो लास्ट टाइम हमने क्या करा था, हमने डिपार्टमेंट आईडी एंड मैक्स सैलरी निकाल लिया था, राइट. एंड एक मैक्स सैलरी से हमने वो फिल्टर कर लिया कि आफ्टर ज्वाइनिंग दिस टेबल आई ओनली वांट दोज रोज जहां पे डिपार्टमेंट आईडी एंड मैक्स सैलरी इक्वली मैच कर रहे हैं, और एल्स जस्ट ड्रॉप द अदर रोज. हमने ये करा था लास्ट वाले क्वेश्चन में, राइट. अभी इसमें क्या कर सकते हैं, देखो इसमें हमें क्या करना है, इसमें बेसिकली हमने काउंट देखना पड़ेगा. इसमें बोल रहे 3 यूनिक काउंट्स. सो बेसिकली इफ आई कैन जस्ट फिल्टर आउट द थिंग्स, सो लेट्स फाइंड आउट. पहले ये टेबल बनाते हैं, ठीक है. अभी पहले हम एक काम करते हैं जिसमें हम फॉर ईच ऑफ माई डिपार्टमेंट्स, सो बेसिकली फॉर ईच ऑफ माई टेबल, इसमें हम अपना एक एक चीज का ज्वाइन कर लेते हैं. चलो अभी देखो, अभी मैं काम करता हूं, वेयर एक टेबल बनाता हूं, यहां पे एक नया टेबल बनाता हूं जहां पे मेरा जहां पे वो डिपार्टमेंट वाइज को काउंट करेगा. सो सेलेक्ट सेपरेट व्यू टेबल है मेरा. अब इस केस में मुझे क्या करना है, काउंट. सो फॉर ईच ऑफ माई यूनिक सैलरीज को मेरे को डिस्टिंक्ट को काउंट करना पड़ेगा, राइट. सो पहले तो मैं डिस्टिंक्ट करूंगा, डिस्टिंक्ट ऑफ माई सैलरी, राइट. सो दिस इज बेसिकली व्हाट माई सैलरी इज, राइट. अब इस सैलरी का डिस्टिंक्ट का काउंट ले लेता हूं, राइट. काउंट ऑफ माई डिस्टिंक्ट शुड बी 3 और शुड बी मोर देन 3, राइट. सो आई मीन दिस इज हाउ इट शुड बी, राइट. सो I want the count of distinct of salary basically from employee again, right. And in this time I'm gonna just use this employee table and this employee table as a 2 separate entities, because I have to compare the salaries of my different IDs, right. So I'm gonna just mention this E1, I'm gonna mention this as employee E2, okay, where the condition is the salary of my E2 table. So here the salary, this salary should be just try to imagine this. I'm going to call this table twice again. So this table twice at the same time, right. So for this thing I'm saying that if the department IDs are same, right. So if the department IDs here, so look at this question. So if the department IDs are same and the salary is more, right. So this is what I want. So look at the condition. So I want this when the salary is more but the department IDs are same. This is the logic I want to implement, right. So here I can just write where from employee 2, where my first condition is the salary should be more and the second is department should be same, right. This is my condition I want to implement. So where E2 dot salary is greater than E1 dot salary, also the department E2 dot department ID क्या है यार, department ID, this is the one, E2 dot department ID is equal to E1 dot department ID, and also I want these both to be true, so I can just write and here, right? So this is my condition I wanted to implement. Great. And this is again an whole another nested query, right? So now in this case, what I want, now this will be returning me the count of my distinct salaries, right? Correct. So ultimately what I'm doing in the count of my distinct salaries. So basically it's a number which is returning me. So it will be returning me what? 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be the output here, right? This is how it will be taking me. And what is the logic which I want? They're asking me to choose 3 unique values, right? So they're asking me to find out top 3 unique salaries. So this here is 3 should be greater than this number. Make sense, guys? Can I do that? Guys, any question, do let me know in the chat, right? So they have clearly mentioned I want only the top 3 unique salaries. So I can just simply write 3 should be greater than this. This is what I want. My count of my unique salaries, count of my distinct unique salaries. This is what the question says. So my where condition is sorted. My from condition is sorted. I have already written this. Now the select is pending. So let's try to do that. So now select में मुझे क्या चाहिए? I want d dot name as department. My first thing. Second, I want basically I want name. So I want name from E1. So E1 dot name as employee. This is also done. And then I want apart from this salary. So salary is also what we need, right? So output में salary था ना? Output क्या यार भूल गया मैं? Salary, right? So output में I want comma के बाद E1 dot salary. Salary को भी salary करना है, salary रहने देता हूँ. That should work fine. So this is done, this is done, this is gone. So now my select is sorted, my from is sorted, and my where is also sorted. Cool. So अभी मैं इन सबको comment कर देता हूँ, and let's try to run this code. Looks fine to me. Looks fine to me. This should work fine. Error. So e dot department iz is on clause. So क्या है? Okay, my bad. So this should be e1 dot department id, right? And then yeah, so this is fine. Right. Cool. Fair enough. So you have your answer handy with you. Cool. I believe logics again is pretty much clear with everyone, right? The whole objective here is to understand the logic, guys. अगर आप question को सोच पा रहे हो, if you are able to think the question, if you are able to, I mean, the basic चीजों को अगर आप समझ पा रहे हो ना, तो you should be able to write the queries. It's all about how you think of the problem, right? It's not about me solving a problem here or you doing it in some other way. Again, I'm telling that this is not the only way you can solve this problem. I can think of maybe some, there's another way which I'm thinking to solve this problem. But again, I just followed the same logic which I did in the last problem so that you should be able to get that logic. But again, you can still do it in like 2 more ways. I can think of at least 1 more way right now. Right? So no approach is bad, guys. No approach is good or bad. So it's all about how efficient your way is. I think somebody asked that question earlier. So again, that efficiency only comes when you are solving something in a real-time business in a production unit that is not countable while you are giving your code test or any coding platform, competitive programming, right? So that does not come in that. So efficiency is not counted in that front, right? So efficiency is all towards your business, where you have like billions of rows of data and then also multiple joins नहीं कर सकते हो, multiple group buys नहीं कर सकते हो. They'll take time to run the query, right? So that's how we judge. So no approach is bad, no code is wrong. If you're able to get the output, so no approach is wrong. Take me from this. Cool. So I think we are pretty much good, guys. We solved some really good questions today, and I hope you guys were able to connect the dots and understand the things. I tried to break the question the max I can, to be honest. And again, if still anybody is able to understand, able to not understand the question or anything, so please do let me know that. So we can always clarify the questions. It's not at all a problem anyway. Okay, code understanding, the questions clearance is very important. So do not hesitate to ask your queries. Cool. So I'm going to give you maybe a minute more. If anybody has any queries, do let me know, or else we can wrap up for the day, and then maybe we can meet for SQL the next weekend. Apologies, I couldn't make yesterday, so I had some unavoidable work. So we're going to meet again the next weekend, most probably the same time, 10 a.m. But again, you'll get the updates on the playlist, so we'll be getting the time updates there. And also, if you're part of the channel, the Telegram channel, you'll be getting the updates there also. So most probably it's going to be the next weekend, 10 a.m. onwards. So another set of problems will be doing that. Cool. So if people are good, then let's wrap up for the day. Let's see each other the next weekend, and let's solve a few more problems. Right. So let's see each other tomorrow, the next weekend. Great. So thank you so much, guys, and thank you for being patient and listening to me. And I hope I was able to answer your queries. Happy learning. Till then, see you each other the next weekend. Thank you. Bye.